Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Keeper Chronicles episode of the week 9, episode 10, week 9. I have with me here today, of course, the ineffable champion, your favorite, my brother, my friend, and featured guest, Jacob Ambrose.
Hey, everyone. Glad to be back.
So we are here about week 9, talking about week 9. Man, gotta tell ya, it was a week in our league. Less about what happened on the field, more about what happened in the group chat.
Yeah.
Some tyranny claims. I didn't really appreciate that, but,
I feel like rightfully so. You have been declared maybe a slight dictator of a commissioner a couple times. So I don't think they're unfounded, maybe slightly unfair.
I think they're unfair a little bit, but that's just me, I guess. Let's get right into it. Jacob and I wanted to just quickly bring up the idea of...
Well, we're halfway through the season.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Luke about what should be our intro topic this week. And I was like, we could do this, we could do that. And we decided to choose, kind of make a prediction of who's going to be playing in the AFC and NFC championship. We're halfway through the season. We got enough data points to kind of guess who are going to be the top 2 teams at the end of the season in each conference. Do you want to start, Luke? And you can just do one conference and we can talk a little.
Well, with the AFC, it's hard to see the Chiefs not being there. At least in the championship. Who knows if they'll make it to the Super Bowl again?
100%
hard to see them not making it, just because I just feel like there's momentum. There's, it's the veteran kind of. They've been there before. Like they have the know-how of how to get it done, and so it's just hard not to see them. I would say that's obviously probably an easy pick.
Yep. I'm right there with you. Chiefs were the first one that. You just automatically almost have to assume they're going to be there. Who's going to take them out beforehand?
Exactly.
Especially it's looking like they're going to have home field advantage.
I will say they've been playing the games that they've been in have been a lot closer this year.
That's absolutely
true. It's not like they're blowing things out. So, I could see an early playoff loss. Like they got taken out. That's really surprising.
But this is how they were last year too.
It's true.
So, I think Chiefs. In terms of who I would think they'd play against, I almost made a very bold declaration here, but I withdrew it. But I was going to say the Steelers. The Steelers' defense is very good. Russ actually is winning games.
Oh boy!
But I went against it, and I think the Bills, with the addition of Amari Cooper. I just like the way they're playing, and Josh Allen. I mean, he's Superman at times, and so I think I'm gonna go Bills right now.
That's a pretty good pick, and I feel like it's time for them.
Yes.
That being said, it's hard to discount the Ravens too.
Oh, for sure.
Derrick Henry is just absolutely destroying. Zay Flowers is in the top 10. I think he's number 6, on receiving yards, or 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Something crazy like that. JJ's number 1. I saw a graphic with that. That's
okay.
How I know. So the cold streaks on the Ravens, though, are really cold. Like, when they are cold, it is just tough to watch.
And last year, do you remember the Ravens should have beaten the Chiefs?
Who was MVP last year?
Lamar. But, the Ravens, if going into the halftime, the Ravens were in full control, and then they just self-imploded, essentially.
And maybe it feels like that because their offensive strategy is like,
Lamar can do something, right?
yeah, it's kind of that like lightning in a bottle, or like, make the magic happen kind of deal. And when it just like, when the trick plays don't work, or when the Lamar keeps don't work, like, what do they really have going for them, or how can they get excited about their offense?
Yeah,
that's the issue I see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Moving over to the NFC.
Fair to say we both have Lions here.
Yeah.
I was looking at point differential and the Lions are smoking everyone. Like
they'll play their starters well into the fourth when they're up by like 4 scores.
It's part of their culture, though.
It is.
It's also why Aiden Hutchinson probably is not going to be playing in the playoffs. So,
because he got injured.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Playing probably longer than he needed to.
Exactly.
I have Eagles as their opponent. I wanted to say Vikings as a diehard fan. I don't like the Vikings enough with Darisaw out. If Darisaw was in, I would feel a lot better about it. I like the defense, but Darisaw was kind of a really solid piece of that line that's now gone.
I want to say Vikings too, but when you're barely eking out a win against the Colts,
yeah,
and the Colts looked so bad. We had 400 yards of offense, and they had like 150, and it was still a one-score game.
But they found a way to win.
Of course. Saquon on Philly. Did you see that backwards hurdle?
Unbelievable.
That has got to be one of the best plays. I mean, of course, it netted him, a yard and a half or 2?
It was an extra, like 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah.
But, that's like a one-of-one play you'll ever see.
Amazing.
Yes.
I think we'll see that in highlight reels forever.
For a very long time, yeah.
I mean, I like Philly, but I'm actually going to stick with the Vikings on this one. Now, I don't know what
I don't think that's a bad pick, to be fair.
I don't know what the scenario has to be for the Lions and Vikings to actually be the matchup in the championship, but
it's not that hard to get.
I don't know.
So
maybe that's a bold pick, but
no, I don't think it's too hard. That's a great pick.
So that's our assessment of the league so far after half. I don't think that'll come as a surprise to anybody. I always look forward to the playoffs, though, because you never know who's going to surprise.
You never know who is going to show up and be elite, like Joe Flacco in 2013.
Exactly. And you never know. That's why, maybe we'll go to a 6-team playoff next year.
No.
6, not 8.
I thought you were talking about the NFL.
No. For us, a 6-team playoff could be fun with a first-round bye. I looked today, and ESPN gives the capability of the home team advantage, which is up to 20 points of an advantage. So
20 might be steep, but
yeah, I know. But we could figure something out.
We could play with something.
It's on the ballot. We'll have a voting season next.
I'm so excited.
To follow up on some of the questions last year, we have. I think you got this resolved in the group chat anyway, but week 14 is the last week of a bye, and that is our last week of regular season.
Yes.
So we have 14 weeks regular season. Then it goes to a playoff. Round 1, if the playoffs is
single
week. So you lose, you're done. Round 2, the championship is a double week one. So just to take out some of that luck, like you guys are saying, without running into the problem of, we've already clinched the bye, or we can't improve our standings, so we're going to just put our non-starters in from the NFL. So.
Yes.
Which I was talking to Mark about this when this was all going on, and I said I understand the logic there. You've always been the one to tell me don't push it to week 18.
Right.
It would be better to have a bye if we were to do 2 weeks. Like if we were to start in week 14, I was telling him, because this is what we currently had. If you start in week 14, better to have a bye when you know for sure a guy's not playing than to. He doesn't have questionable status. He doesn't have out status. He just doesn't play because his team doesn't play him. Yeah. Because they're saving him. So I think that'll be good, and that'll kind of make the playoffs last. That first round has that potential to
that first round could be crazy.
That could be crazy. And so that takes some of the craziness into it, and also keeps it from being like, the guy who's in, like, Benton gets a lucky win finally. And he takes it by storm.
Benton's due for a couple lucky wins.
Yeah, let's say that.
All right, let's recap week 9. first game I have is Rebrand Revenge versus the Romness. And boy,
this was the team. It's the team, or it's the game that the matchup that our episode is named after, the Race to 94.
What a
just last night we had the Road to 270, and now we had the Race to 94.
And Sam barely got there. 94.02.
Sam and David were doing their own kind of, I don't know, race to the bottom. It seems like
Sam had one guy score over 20, and David had 0 score over 20.
Attaboy.
Yeah, going into Sunday Night Football, Sam had Josh Downs left. David had JT. And
you look at that. I mean, just
and David had a 2-point lead as well.
Yeah. Okay. Who's going to outscore the other, JT or Josh Downs?
And somehow, Josh Downs scores literally just enough more than JT for Sam to get the win.
Literally that one pass.
Yeah, the one pass at the very end of the game.
At the very end, and obviously had, just enough yards on the pass too.
Well, and I as we left the Vikings game, I'm like, okay, so something to kind of pay attention to is I'm like trying to think back, did Josh Downs catch any at the line of scrimmage that might be changed to a rush rather than a catch?
Sure.
And so I'm like, I was waiting for a stat correction, or maybe there was a sack that was actually a 0-yard gain. Like I was waiting for a stat correction to cause this to really go chaotic, but it looks like it's stable, and Sam is the winner here.
Yep. The thumbnail of this video obviously is the picture of Sam pointing to that. That was taken. If you zoom in really far, you'll see there was actually like 1:30 left on the clock, and both the Colts were still on the field.
Yes. So there
it could have aged like milk, but it didn't.
Yes.
Aged like a fine wine there.
Yes.
So congratulations, though. Both of you have earned another entry into the Under 100 Club.
Sam really is hoping to be that president.
He still is. Undisputed.
Undisputed.
So then we have my matchup.
Yes.
Another kind of
good
match.
Luke, do you realize like most of your team played primetime this week? Thursday, Sunday, or Monday?
Yep.
It was wild to me. Just
you had the big dogs.
How many players did you have waiting on Monday night? Like 5?
I had
Baker.
I had Baker,
Kelsey,
and Kareem Hunt.
Only 3?
That was only 3.
Okay. I was feeling like it was more. Yeah, and you were down by like 30, 40 points?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking you had 5 before Sunday night because you also had Vikings defense.
Yeah,
and,
right. Oh, yeah.
Ricard.
R.I.P. He's on IR now.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of an interesting game here too. Were you stressing going into Monday?
Yeah, for sure. Because Kelsey is not guaranteed anymore. Kareem Hunt is not guaranteed. Tampa Bay, I was worried about having Baker as my quarterback because the quarterbacks against the Chiefs have not been doing well. I was thinking about swapping Mahomes for Baker, and that would have done me well, right? I think Mahomes outscored him
slightly, yes.
But I want to keep Baker. So.
Yeah, and you look at it, and your guys that played Monday night all exceeded expectations.
Absolutely.
And so that obviously a pretty big difference. It was going to be close. I'd say 12 points is still a pretty close game.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the Vikings defense stepping up and getting you 12 points was also pretty huge there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of counteracted by a bad night of kicking. But
by the way, I don't know if you've looked into the scoring, everybody. Did you know that our defenses in our league get a point? Is it at 1 point?
I believe it's 1, maybe 2.
They get 1 or 2 points when they make a 4th down stop. I didn't know that.
I'm really surprised you didn't know this.
Well, it doesn't appear on the stat sheet.
Well, on the app, if you click their points, you can look and see the breakdown of how they get each point.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the abbreviation under it. So
not under it.
Yes. I've never even thought to look into that.
As the guy that makes the scoring system, I'm surprised you didn't know that.
It's the default PPR scoring system.
I know.
I could change it if you want.
No.
Put that on the ballot too.
Jacob
wants head coaches in the game.
No.
So I'll say this. I don't even want CeeDee Lamb anymore. Because Dak is hamstringed out.
His hamstring tore off the bone.
It's like a smoked chicken. But if you really want Boompa, you can send me a trade. I'll take him at maybe a diminished value. I don't think with Cooper Rush he's doing much, but I'll take him off your hands if you'd like. So just putting that out there for you.
What a businessman he is. Next game I have is my game. My team Trust and Repeat versus the freight train that is the Cheese Whiz.
Not the freight train. The freight train.
He's a freight train, and he is good. The Whiz is real.
You say that every week, like it's something, like it's a surprise.
Yes,
but
because the Whiz never gets his respect.
no, he really doesn't, and he doesn't believe in himself either.
I feel
he's always like, "You see, I won." Yeah, I saw that. Congrats.
Mark is over 500 right now. He is 5-4.
Oh my goodness.
He has Lamar Jackson, who I've gone on record saying is one of the best quarterbacks you can have.
Absolutely.
Kyron,
He's got Zay, doesn't he?
Zay, I'm not as big
Okay.
fantasy-wise on Zay, but Kyron and A-Chain, when Tua is healthy, are two very good running backs that he can just sit there and ignore.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Adams is better now. He's not great.
Yeah, we'll see about if that keeps shaping up.
And you have to imagine Hawk is going to score more than 5 points.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he's like full championship watch yet,
but he could be crazy week 1 of playoffs.
I'm saying he could make the championship. You
never
never know what's going to happen in a single game of fantasy
football.
football.
Can you imagine a Wiz championship? Wouldn't that be something?
Oh,
just in time for Christmas. It would be a Christmas miracle for him. Oh man.
Oh, that would be.
Can't even imagine.
That would be fun.
And then we have, of course, Freight Train versus the Boom.
Some things never change, Luke. Ross scores a lot of points. Benton scores a lot of points and somehow loses.
Yep.
You can't script how bad this season, like unlucky Benton has been this season.
Oh yeah.
Between injuries and when he doesn't have the injuries, he scores points and then goes up against Ross or Boompa or anyone that randomly scores a ton of points.
Yep, totally.
Oh, Benton.
I mean, like literally, his record is so bad.
But you like
he still only has 1 win, right?
He has 1 win.
Oh my.
Against you. But
I have more wins than him.
Yes, but he still has his 1 win against you. And you'll see later on, he is not the worst in terms of my power rankings either, as we would expect with how unlucky he's been. But like, Benton, seriously, props to you for sticking it through this season and trying every week, because it has to be a little demoralizing. And I'm sorry that your luck is as bad as it is.
I mean, he should at least know that his team is good, but like it's not good when he needs it.
Yes.
I mean, actually, it is good when he needs it. Like he's going up against the Boom and he scores 130 plus points like that. Yeah, that's great.
He scored 140 plus.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
He made it to the 40s. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So they're good when you need them to be, but I guess just not good enough.
Poor Benton.
All
right. Let's you have anything else on there?
Nope, nothing else there.
Okay. Let's do your special award season. For all of those that keeping track, I tried to let Luke kind of take the reign and assign these awards because they are known as Luke's weekly awards.
They are my weekly awards. And here we go. Let's start right away with the Gritty Award. No surprise here. It's going to Ross with the All Boom or Bust. And actually, I have a little update on the Gritty Award. Ross has clinched the seasonal Gritty Award.
In week
9. So if you didn't know last year, what I did is I tallied up, or whatever it was,
who
gets the award the most times through the season, and they win the seasonal one. Ross has already clinched it. So it has been. Let me see. Here are the Gritty Awards week by week. Ross, Jacob, David, Luke, Ross. So Ross has 6 Gritties. Oh, he has not clinched it actually. I thought he had 7 Gritties, but he has 6. So if David, myself, or Jacob, if either of us win the next 5 games, which is the entire regular season.
This is all me.
If we wait 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 5. So if we win out the Gritty Award, so that we're top scorer.
Okay.
all 5 weeks.
Okay.
Just one of us, though. Like, it's not
Yes,
like
yes. It has to be one of us consistently.
the whole time. Then Ross has not clinched it. If for whatever reason somebody else wins the gritty next, or Ross wins it next, he will have clinched the seasonal. So it is on the line. Seasonal gritty award is on the line.
It's on the line this week, guys.
And it is Ross's to lose at this point.
Okay.
But he probably won't. So.
Well, he's going up against the contenders this week, so.
There you go. But if the contenders outscores him, he'll probably get the gritty award, and then the whole thing's done anyway.
Okay. All right. Next award, Luke. What do you have?
I've got Best Bench or Mismanager Award, whatever you want to call it. Just know when we say Best Bench, we do mean you're really mismanaging your team. And, that's going to you, Boomps. So you traded for Cade Otton this week.
Yep.
And then you benched him over Dalton Kincaid. I know you're a Josh Allen fanboy.
Boompa has been waiting for the Dalton Kincaid breakout game.
He's double points. Gotta get Josh. Oh, I gotta get the Bills. Double points. Yeah, double points ain't working out for you so much this week. You should have put Cade Otton in, and then you would have had enough to beat me by 2 points.
Can you can you just take a guess what roughly Dalton Kincaid gets each week, fantasy points wise?
I'm guessing he gets around 8 points per week.
That might even be on the high side. He's 2, 7, 13, 9, 5, 11, 8, 13, 7. So
no, he's up. He's up around 10 then, right?
No, I'd guess that he's probably closer.
What's his total for the year?
I don't know. I don't have. He averages 8.6 a week.
8.
So you're right.
6 a week.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Which, I guess tight ends are pretty much a wash this season. But I mean, Boomps is really, really hoping he finally breaks out.
Yeah, Dalton is not the right horse to be betting on. It's a good thing you traded for Cade Otton. I see that now, but you should really start.
Is Dalton Kincaid Kyle Pitts?
Kind of. I mean, Kyle Pitts is actually, I think, averaging more than Dalton Kincaid now.
Maybe.
And has a more. I mean, you'd be better off going the Kirk Cousins to Kyle Pitts connection.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts does have 10 points per week.
There you go, Booms. I know your next pickup. Drop Dalton Kincaid, pick up Kyle Pitts, but in the meantime, start Cade Otton. And that's your path to victory right there.
Okay. What about waiver winner this week, Luke?
What did you see that you liked?
I had Josh Downs. I mean, obviously he was the difference maker, right?
Mm-hmm.
There weren't a ton of players that were picked up and started, so it obviously limits our pool. But I like the storyline behind the Josh Downs pickup to take the waiver winner.
Are there any waiver moves from last week that you'd like to highlight? Like, what were some good ones that you saw? Because I actually don't remember the waiver report. I don't even remember what I did. All I know is David dropped Joel Jennings again. Let's see.
The waiver report. I mean, we have Kyler Murray getting picked up. I mean, Michael Pittman was picked up again.
Yeah, he's dropped.
He's been dropped.
Bye. I watched him play live. He sucks. Sam's first round pick.
Kyle Pitts was picked up. Lad McConkey was picked up. Bo Nix was picked up. That was actually a solid pickup by Sam. He scored 18 points.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. That Josh Downs, I really do feel like is waiver winner.
Congrats, Sammy. You got another waiver winner. I think this might be 2 or 3 for you. So I'll have to do some more research on our awards and keeping track of those. I'm just going to keep your face up here, Sam, as we move on to the next award, because you have indeed won the Russell Wilson Mr. Unlimited Award.
Nice job, Sam.
And, what the heck? Why am I getting this award? Here's the deal. You won a very tight, hard-fought matchup. You did it. You beat David. You won your game. But it earned you another entry in the Under 100 Club. So even for all of that, for, the thumbnail picture of you pointing at the phone, all of that, you are still Mr. Unlimited and president of the Under 100 Club. So congratulations. You did something poorly. I don't know. You did something good poorly, and that is the definition of Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that has been the last 2 weeks. So obviously we've hit on it. The Under 100 Club had 2 new entries.
Yep.
Not 2 additional entries, not new members.
Yeah, not new members.
But Sam and David, congrats. Way to get another entry in that Under 100 Club.
I think David's now at either 2 or 3, and I
Yeah.
think Sam's at 4 or 5. I'm not quite sure yet.
Waiver report this week, though, came out this morning. A lot of kickers and defenses kind of
The
moving
usual,
around.
yep.
Nothing too much. Some players were moved, so we have getting picked up Jordan Addison back on your team. You just reversed last week.
Just for 1 week. It was just, I just love him. And he made that excellent catch, and it's like he's only getting 4 catches a game, but who knows? I might start him this week. Again, favorable matchup against Jacksonville. No doubt about it. I'm ready to get hurt again.
Jordan Addison is your Kyle Pitts.
He really is, but I've loved him since that first year.
Ever since he had, I wonder, do you love him just because he loves his dog so much? Tyrone Tracy getting picked up.
That's also me.
Yeah.
And I'm starting him.
I think that's solid. He's getting a lot of carries.
He's replaced Singletary, I'll tell you that.
Mike Gesicki getting picked up by me. Sam swapping quarterbacks. He like I said, he is that quarterback nomad right now. Dropping Bo Nix for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
Favorable matchup this week.
Favorable matchup, but he also had 3 turnovers last week.
Yep. And it could be, favorable matchup against the Jags. Could be maybe Aaron Jones takes over the game. Who knows?
Yeah. You also picked up Cortland Sutton.
I did.
What are your thoughts there? I want to hear about this.
My thoughts there is that my wide receiver core is really hurt.
Okay.
And I've been holding on to Debo, who got pneumonia, and now he has rib issues, and I'm just not sure if he'll play. I just need a backup of some sort.
Okay.
So
just he's bench.
You got Glass Mike, huh?
Yeah, I like this. Again, I've kind of hinted at it. I kind of like the idea of Mike Williams and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson throws that moon ball well. Do you know what Mike Williams does better than almost every wide receiver? I feel like he is the jump ball king. We'll see.
Comes down with a broken collarbone, but
no. Maybe. But I mean, he's my next Deontay Johnson project. Hope to get a couple good weeks out of him until the league figures.
And then trade him away for Kate Otten.
Actually, I dropped Deontay Johnson straight up. I didn't realize I could get Kate Otten for him.
No, who knew? Just out of curiosity, how did Deontay do?
0 catches.
0 catches. I bet that trade is Ross has always prided himself on being a good kind of trader. That looks like a really bad trade. You could have probably gotten something out of Sam, maybe more of value rather than Deontay Johnson. So, Sam needs a tight end.
Oh yeah, because he's got Kyle Pitts. All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
we'll move on. My luck standings. We have some movement. Obviously, there was some lucky wins and some unfortunate losses this week. I really didn't think Benton could get much lower than unlucky -2, but sure enough, he did this week. Unlucky -3, had to go a deeper shade of red than I thought I would have to use. I was lucky +2 for all of 1 week. I moved down. I am totally okay with that. Would have appreciated winning straight up, but kind of feel like an imposter when you're more than lucky +1. Sam. Yeah, but you and Luke, you and Sam both picked up a lucky win this week. And, Benton and I picked up an unlucky loss.
So David's the only true neutral right now.
He is the only one that can brag about his record. And I guess Boompa and Ross can. And even Benton. But I don't know if Benton will. Obviously luck is a part of fantasy football, though. So this is just a fun little thing. Going to my power rankings. Ross continues to win that Gritty Award and literally kill us in this.
Yeah. Oh, heyo. There goes Mark.
Mark, yeah, he scored points this week, and we had a pretty big grouping down in the bottom 5. And Mark moved up, man. And then
the fact that I'm only 3 wins ahead of him against all is kind of sad to me.
I moved for tie breaking. I went. Actually, Benton, you should be number 5, not me. That's an oversight on my part. Benton should be 5th. I should be 6th, and David 7. I base that on points scored this week, on who kind of wins that tiebreaker. And Mr. Unlimited at the bottom.
Unlimited.
So, yeah, I don't really have much to say. Anything jump out at you on these power rankings?
No, I mean, they make sense. I really do. I'm enjoying this metric. I'm sure Ross is really enjoying this metric. Just getting validated each and every single week that, yes, he picked a good team. He's been making good moves, other than Deontay Johnson. So, let's talk about the matchups coming into this week.
All right. I've got Rebrand Revenge, David versus the Cheese Whiz this week.
Okay.
That's my first one, and I want to just recall, at one point in time, this was this a mental bye week, an emotional bye week?
Yeah, it was an emotional bye. This was the matchup that David had when he was in town, and he was just kept going, oh, I'm so glad I'm playing the Wiz this week.
Do you feel like it is an emotional bye week for David?
No, absolutely not. So I'm going to come out straight up and say Mark's winning this matchup. David puts up an under 100 entry. Mark puts up 140?
151.
150. Mark puts up 150 points. That's a 60-point difference. I am not backing down. Putting respect on the Wiz's name. The Wiz is the winner this week of the Rebrand versus the Wiz.
Obviously, things can change, but as of Wednesday night, Mark is a 23-point favorite in this game. I'm going to say the Wiz as well. You know me. I'm going to cheer for the Wiz whenever I can.
You are a big Wiz fanboy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There he is. His little face is smiling at us because he's so happy that we're picking him to win.
Next game, I have the Contenders versus All Boom No Bust.
Oh, boy. This is a tough one.
So I went back because I thought Boompa was the one that gave Ross his first loss. I was wrong. Obviously, this is a heavyweight rematch.
Who was the one, by the way, who gave him this first loss?
The Wiz.
The Wiz. Christmas Miracle. Don't forget it.
Yeah. So Ross won week 3. And in week 3, Josh Allen and Derrick Henry scored 30 points each. The rest of Boompa's team let him down. He only scored 120 total. So those two scored half his total points. Ross actually had a down week, only 130 points.
What's just out of curiosity, what is the Bills matchup and what is the Ravens matchup?
Yeah, let me tell you. So the Ravens actually play tomorrow night. This, I think, is going to be a really good Thursday night game for once. It's Ravens versus Bengals. Great divisional matchup there. The Bills are playing Indianapolis at Indianapolis, so it's an indoor game.
That is going to that makes me think that I think all things said and done there. What's the Philly matchup?
Dallas.
Oh.
Yeah. A.J. Brown questionable. Devontae Adams questionable right now.
Okay. That makes it tough.
Joe Mixon is also playing against Detroit. I don't know if that makes a difference for you.
No, he'll get carries anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and say Boompa's going to win this contest.
I like Boompa as well. Obviously, the Eagles playing against Dallas is a little concerning.
For sure.
But you just never know what's going to happen in Dallas, right?
Absolutely. And the Eagles have been known to all of a sudden just struggle in certain games. Like, why they're scoring 9 points and a half, just like all field goals.
Yep.
What's going on
there? You just never know when that's going to happen.
Never know.
Currently, Ross is a 6-point favorite, just for the record. But, I mean, he's projected 139 and Booms is 133. Both incredibly high projections.
Yeah, right.
Next game it is my game, Trust and Repeat versus Romness. And to be honest, I'm a little scared to go up against him.
Why are you scared?
I maybe have said on this podcast a couple times about how mid his team is and how he has no one on his team. So I'm ready to eat those words.
Sure.
I'm currently an 18-point favorite.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer for me. I mean, president of the Under 100 Club, coming off of a really terrible win. Like,
you can't underestimate Sam's coaching ability to really coach these players up, though.
Yeah, right. No kidding. He's making moves on the waivers that never help him.
Sam, fun fact, Sam actually has the most moves made in our league by 9.
Oh, boy.
He has 33 moves made. Next closest, it's one of the Miltimores at 24.
Probably Ross.
Yeah.
But maybe probably David, actually.
I don't know.
Sam will let you know he's making moves, too. Hey, you see my move?
You
see?
Put some respect on my waiver moves.
Waiver winner next week. Calling it right here.
That is me.
I think that earned him the Mr. Unlimited one week.
It did.
Yeah, I've got you winning this matchup for
so
sure.
Just a couple pieces. Christian McCaffrey, I'm banking on him coming off IR this week. Everyone's been talking like that's going to happen. Obviously not guaranteed.
Pick up Jordan Mason if you're unsure.
But I'm going to stick to my guns and say I'm going to win.
Yeah, it's probably the right thing to do. Only idiots pick not themselves to win and then win, which is what I did last week.
All right, last game this week. We have your game. A little bit of a revenge game for you. How do you feel?
I'm the only I'm the only win in Benton's win column.
Yes.
He caught me. These are week 3 rematches, right?
Yes.
He caught me at the very end of my.
No, this was this the Derek Carr?
Yeah, this was the Derek Carr. I picked up Derek Carr for this week because he had 2 great weeks right in the start, 20-point games. Pick him up, get like 8 points out of him, or 5 points, something just absolutely terrible. So, not making the same mistakes this week. I've got Baker. He's solid. He's my guy. I'm not going to be a mismanager. I'm looking at matchups. I'm being really strategic about this. All said and done, I will probably lose just because I'm saying all of this, but I'm still going to stick to my guns this week and say I've got this game in the bag.
Fun fact, Benton is favored.
Yeah, well, Benton can...
by 0.7 points, 132.9 to 132.2. Those projections kind of shift throughout the week. So, I mean, it's 50-50 right now based on ESPN's bogus projections.
You know what? I'm going to project Benton's record after this week is going to be 1-9. That's my projection. So take that projection and make of it what you will, Benton. You're going down.
Luke, I really don't like your team this week.
Okay, well, that's fine. Who are you going to pick then?
Benton.
Okay, there you go. There he is. He's eating his fruit by the foot on our screen right now, and he's going to eat those words too.
I just don't like Baker going up against San Fran. Don't like the Jets in general. And you'd have to imagine New Orleans has to have some pride in their team after losing to Carolina.
Well,
we'll see.
I guess we'll see.
Any last words? That's all I have.
That's all I've got too. Ross didn't work out as a guest this week. He had a meeting right at our broadcast time, but we'll work on something for next week maybe. Benton, when your team is done with the season, we'll have you in at some point because you're in town. So, is he done?
He doesn't have any games left yet.
But I know he's in playoffs, right?
No, they lost.
They lost. When did they lose?
On Saturday.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
No, they lost on Monday.
Okay, well, I missed that memo. So, sorry to hear about your season ending. But come get some consolation by being on the podcast, I guess.
We'd love to have you, Benton.
Wednesday night. Love to have you. That's an open invite for you. Other than that, man, we have had just a great time tonight. And never know how to end these things, so I'll just send it to the outro. Okay.